Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So that South Park show, wow. I mean, it's never get tired of watching it. The more times I see it, the more I appreciate how genius it is. I mean, it ridicules them without being over the top cruel, and it has a moral of the story and like a little bit of a guide for Harry and Meghan, or basically Harry. I don't know, maybe I think they kind of considered Meghan a lost cause, but whatever the case may be, it really and it was just so universal. Humor is something that's so difficult to have a universal appeal for that, and but it seems like everybody around the world just loved that cartoon. That's the way it seems, anyways. And someone pointed out, thank you to the person who commented, that the fact that Harry was, when, at the scene where the prince opens up the wife and there's an echo inside, like an echo chamber, like it sounded like a garbage can, didn't it? Flipping over the top. Hello. It just seemed like he was talking into a garbage can or something. But someone pointed out that it was also the narcissist and echo, the myth and tragedy of relationships with narcissists. So there's a whole write up here about how the mythology can offer valuable insights into human nature and the story of Echo and Narcissus, a cautionary tale that rings true even today. So you have extreme self love, that is what's seen in narcissism, can negatively impact your life and the lives of those around you. When you're the center of your own attention, everything else may seem unimportant. The opposite can also be true with codependency, or an extreme reliance on another can be equally detrimental. Being hyper focused on someone else may make you neglect your own needs to satisfy theirs. So, the story of Echo and Narcissus illustrates these two extremes and how they often find one another in relationships. So, who is a narcissist? Narcissus, the fictional character in Greek mythology, appears in multiple tales. At the core, he's known as the man who fell in love with his own reflection, becoming so obsessed he was unable to leave his image, eventually passing away from starvation and thirst. This tale was expanded by Roman writer Ovid in his book Metamorphosis, where the female nymph character of Echo was added. So Echo was a nymph cursed by the gods to only repeat the last words of others. So she fell in love with Narcissus after encountering him in the woods, and despite his rejection, she continued to long for him. One day while hunting, Narcissus saw his reflection in the pool of water and became so entranced he refused to leave, declaring to the gods that he and his love for his reflection would die as one if they couldn't be together. Narcissus eventually perishes by the pool, with Echo as a witness, repeating the farewell she heard him say to his reflection. In some variations of the take, Echo also passes away, her voice forever echoing her sentiments of love. So I was thinking, I'm like, then who's Echo and who's Narcissus? Because they both seem narcissistic to me, if this is the case here with Harry and Meghan. I kind of think like Meghan acted like an Echo to Harry, right? When she joined the royal family, because everyone knows Harry has always been paranoid about being followed by the paparazzi. And they said that Meghan just made it worse, right? So it seems like Meghan came in and acted like an Echo, like, yeah, Harry, they're following us. Yeah, you're right. We've got to run away to Canada. We've got to run away to LA, right? So it seems like there's a little bit of both going on, because we know Meghan's a narcissist too. So, but it really seemed like, she manipulates him, not only with the mommy figure, but in echoing his mother. There's a lot going on here. They had a piss complex. You got a lot going on. But anyways, I want to focus on, has Harry learned anything from this South Park episode? Did he watch it? Did he actually learn anything, at least become aware of anything, how he's seen? And such a really, I'm going to be using the Witch Tarot. It's such a relief to know that everyone can see it. You know what I mean? That's not just us, because we've been following this tale from the beginning, and you wonder, like, is the general population, are they getting it? Are they buying this, their brand? And I love how they hit upon that, like it's all about the brand with them. And sure enough, I saw an article recently, Megan talking about her brand, or someone talking about her PR people. And I also saw that Harry and Meghan put out articles saying that their lawyers are looking into South Park to see if there's anything that's sinister. I'm like, oh God, here we go, another lawsuit, really? Like they don't have enough. Oh my gosh, and I heard rumors they're gonna do another South Park on them. I hope so. I think a whole series of South Parks because those two, there's so much material to cover. The lawsuits alone is a whole episode right there, right? I mean, how many? Harry is still in his lawsuit against the Met Police in the UK, and it's cost the UK taxpayers about £200,000 so far, and it's still ongoing. And yeah, and then of course we all know about Megan with her sister, her half sister, and of course you got Boozy with Nate, the lawyer. So all very interesting. All these lawsuits, my goodness. But I want to focus on, did Harry learn anything? Like, did he absorb anything? Is he able to, or is he too drugged up and under the influence of Megain and psychotropics that he can't. Let's find out. I want to see what message Harry got from this. Did he just see it as being ridiculed, or did he see the moral of the story in this? And I love how they did it that way. I thought it was very sympathetic. Much more sympathetic than I would have been if I'd made a cartoon about them. But it was really so well done. They captured so many things so quickly that you really have to watch it a few times to really appreciate all the details that they got in there. So much. Every second packed a punch. That's all I gotta say. Excellent. So well done. That will stand the test of time, no doubt. It's a classic. So, anyways, let's see. Did Harry learn his lesson? Has the Harry learned any lesson, or what lesson did he learn, if anything, from this South Park episode that is such a hit everywhere? Let's find out. I've already shuffled the cards. I'm going to split the deck. What did Harry learn from this, if anything? Did he learn anything, or is he just too angry and deluded? Let's see. Did Harry learn anything? Or is Megan crying on the sofa again? And isn't that funny? They had that in the cartoon with her crying and him saying, I won't let him get away with this. I mean, everything was covered in this like very short, compact cartoon. It was really amazing. Anyway, so let's see. General attitude here. Oh my, Ace of Cups reversed. Yeah, very, very, very unhappy. Harry is very depressed, very unhappy with this cartoon. Woo! He is, yeah, probably drinking up a storm. And his attitude, oh, Knight of Swords reversed. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He's furious. He wants to kill them. I think they are talking to lawyers, so the lawyers aren't going to be able to do anything about it. The prince and his wife from Canada. Wow. Oh man, he is okay, he hasn't gotten any lessons here. Harry is beside himself. He's so upset. Getting laughed at is the worst thing that can happen, right? Isn't that part of the rules for radicals? Like laughing at mocking your opponents, like the worst thing you can do. Ooh, Harry's pissed. Oh, he's pissed and he's upset. He is so upset. Wow. Wow. I mean, they'd be upset. I mean, obviously, but you'd hope that he could look at it and be like, try to take something from it positive or some kind of. Oh, the Hermit reverse at the bottom of it all. Yeah. Oh, Harry is very upset. See, because I think that, in my opinion, Harry is the one that was mostly ridiculed in this. But of course, everything was true. I mean, Harry's talking about his Todger. And but Harry's effect that he wanted with the Todger story and the other stories was to gross people out and to shock them and to make shock and horror, right? He wanted people to be like, oh, that's the effect he wanted, and for to be ridiculed about it and to be shown what a hypocrite he is, especially with you're a journalist, right? Writing your book about your family and his blue penis. I mean, it showed and exposed just how stupid he looks doing these things, which that's why, oh, I so love that. I so appreciate that, how they, did all that so quickly. Um, yeah. And Harry's furious because everything, all his ridiculousness is backfiring with this cartoon, and everybody's watching it. Everybody's loving it. And the best their PR could come up with is Harry and Meghan's lawyers are looking into this this cartoon. And I'm sure South Park has been there before and back. They're used to this kind of, dealing with difficult characters. So yeah, but Harry's furious. Oh man, is he furious? He is beside himself. I think he's drinking up a storm. What's the basis of it? Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups. Well, I think he was he's still very emotional, still wanting to try to turn this around to him and Meghan's favor. I kind of see this as Meghan riding on top of Harry. Like, here, Harry, this way. I also could see this as, Harry and his polo, playing his polo. I think I'm getting two horses here too. He's probably taking it out on the poor polo horses. Nacho is probably like, Harry, don't think about it. Let's go play polo. Play polo with Nacho. Everything will be better. So I think he's playing a lot of polo. I think he's focusing on that. Remember those pictures? Megan with her trying to look like a movie star, with her posing for pictures with the trophy, with Nacho and Harry and the other ones. I mean, it's so ridiculous. They're trying to act like they have this, you know, life in California, just like in the UK or something. I mean, it's just with the polo matches and whatnot, just so ridiculous. But I see him playing a lot of polo, that's for sure. Trying to keep himself calm. So what from the past was affected him with this? Oh, to separation here. So I asked about what affected him most about the show that brought up the past about him that affected him the most. And I'm getting the separation. So I think that he was the way they portrayed Harry and Meghan leaving Canada and um, you know, leaving the royal family, going on tour, their privacy tour. Da 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 da. I made a whole intro with that for my intro, putting my messages on, but I got blocked by YouTube for copyright. Yeah, I gotta be careful. I can't use any clips of it. You have to use very, very short clips if you want to show any part of it. But it's a good music too. They even had a song in there. I mean, it had everything. This 20-minute cartoon had everything, right? Had a moral, had mythology, had music. I mean, it had everything. So yeah, so he didn't like the way he really it bothers him how they depicted the whole scene with him leaving Canada, and that whole interview going on. And also, I think, okay, another thing I don't think he liked was at the very end of the cartoon, it showed him leaving Megan behind. He didn't like that either. Um, that the cartoon depicted him saying, leaving, basically, the prince left the wife at the end, basically. They separated over this idea of, which direction they were going in life, whether they were going to continue being a product or if they were going to be authentic and be their real selves. His character, like the prince's character said, we could be the people that we always talk about, instead of actually pretending to be the people you want to be. So yeah, so I think he didn't like that either, that it depicted, and I think, I think South Park has a history of being prescient with these things. Um, and I think that they're saying that this is probably what's going to split them up, is Harry's going to finally wake up and realize they're just selling themselves as a product, as a brand, and it's empty, and it's, not, it's only going to cause unhappiness and bring out more material to ridicule them for their hypocrisies, and their shallowness and stupidity. So, 'cause, I mean, look what Harry's done so far. I mean, really. I mean, he's just embarrassing himself. So, what's he expecting to happen with this? Oh, another knight. Look at Knight of Pentacles. So he's gonna wait. and he is having his lawyers look at it, look like at night and night and night. So he does want to act on this and attack them. I think that they are. He's going crazy right now. He's like, find something. There must be some way to sue them for something. So right now, at this present moment, he's very emotional, and he's expecting that he could get some kind of payment or retraction or sue for something. He wants to, he loves to sue. He's very sue happy, and he wants to. And of course the timing of this couldn't be better, right? I mean, they got these lawsuits going on, and you get the coronation coming up. So I mean, um yeah, he's thinking that he can probably sue for some money here is what I think he's expecting. He wants to set them as an example. Because, Harry and Meghan are politically connected. He's thinking, where are my politics? Make sick Biden on them, sick Twitter on them. Where's Jack Dorsey? You know? So, what did he dislike the most from this? Oh my, Three of Swords. Wow. Yeah. So, he felt really attacked. He's very upset. Swords is like intelligence, um, and how sharp it was, and how they went straight for the jugular there. They really nailed him there. And I think that also he didn't like most how angry his character was, because you see throughout the whole thing, we always talk about how crazy and diabolical Megan with their Sussex squad are, and Omid Scobie, but Harry always tries to have his happy-go-lucky. That's the thing. Harry didn't like how angry his character was, because that's how he really is. We all know that, right? We all know he's nasty AF. But he likes to think he's fooling everybody with his happy-go-lucky Harry demeanor, because that's what the palace had cultivated for him, and that had worked for many years. For many years people thought, oh, Harry, he's just Harry, playful, and everybody says how much Harry's changed since he's married Meghan, because he had cultivated such a image with the help of the palace, that he was, oh, happy-go-lucky Harry, how you doing, everything. But people didn't realize how angry and nasty he really is. And Meghan tapped into that side and has really brought it out more. And he thinks he has it hidden. He doesn't think. I think that in his mind, everyone still looked at him as happy-go-lucky, nice Harry. But as time has gone on with him and Meghan, it's quite obvious that he's a very angry individual. I personally think that he's behind the Sussex squad. Squad is like a army term there, and you can see with the lawsuits that he's filing along with Meghan how angry he actually is. And so I think he really disliked most that the prince in this was portrayed as this arrogant hothead. Whereas, I mean, we all know that the wife of the prince in this skit was just like sort of a doorstop, right? She was just like a blow up doll that the prince dragged around, like, let's go, wife, we're leaving Canada. And it was as if the way it was depicted, it was the main lead hothead was Harry. And that may still be the case. I mean, I think manipulated by Meghan to a large part, but I think that he is very much, or he thinks he's in charge, right? So, but Meghan sets him off in a certain direction, right? Meghan, boo hoo hoo hoo, Harry, your brother offended me. And next thing, Harry's going over and yelling at his brother and yelling at their staff and yelling at the Queen's dresser there, Angela Kelly. So Harry is very much the hothead. What Meghan wants, Meghan gets. So he really didn't like how in the cartoon how he was depicted as angry hothead, and because he felt that he had fooled everyone into thinking he's happy-go-lucky Harry. So he really didn't like that he was exposed in that way. That was obvious that he is a hothead and nasty. So what positive thing did he get from this cartoon? And I get Ace of Wands. Wah wah. I don't see anything positive. He feels like this just, this is almost, I'm getting two aces here. It's almost like, with the aces, you have like the hand of God. It's like boom, and Ace of Wands reverse is just getting hit over with a big stick, just something new in the media, wands, and out of your control, just out of nowhere, just out of the clouds. This is like the South Park cartoon just coming out of nowhere and just being like bam, and being this huge new hit, and so funny, it's so entertaining and so powerful in such a way that can't be misconstrued as being picked on or just attacking them. Of course they're going to try to he's going to try to argue they're being unfairly attacked here because he's very emotional right now, and he's but I think that this cartoon really struck a chord for sure, an emotional one for Harry. So at the moment he's irate, and he wants to do something about it, and he is very unhappy with the surprise and the hit, the way this has become such a new hit. So how does he see it? How does Harry see this cartoon? How does he view it? Seven of Swords are reversed. Ooh. So again, the swords being clever, information, exposing information. I think he's concerned about um, more things coming out. I think he's recognized that with cartoons, you can depict things that Harry and Meghan would otherwise sue your pants off for. So he sees this as something that he's concerned about exposing more about him, and I think already he feels that it's exposed too much, is what I'm getting from that. Like he feels like he's paranoid, right? So he thinks that somebody who's worked for him or works for him or somebody in his circle, someone close to him must have given them intel, given them information. Like he's paranoid right now, thinking that everyone around him is talking to South Park and giving them intel. So he's like super paranoid now about where they get their information, or because I think that he's reading into this because he's so crazy emotional. I mean, this is like craziness. Like he's so irrational and crazy right now with these two cards. I mean, he's beside himself and beyond insane right now from watching it. And Megan, of course, is feeding into it as well. But I'm getting that he feels he's paranoid. He's more paranoid, and he's you know more paranoid than ever and concerned, I guess, as well as what else they might come out with in the future. Because then, can you imagine a South Park with a fake pregnancy with a belly bump? I wonder how they would depict that with those cartoons. Have to wait and see. They do a lot with those simple, graphics that they use. But yeah, you could really convey quite a repertoire of emotions and things. Anyway, so what's he gonna do? What's gonna happen next in the near future? Oh, the sun. Okay, so sunshine stacks hitting there. They're gonna try to outshine this next. They're gonna wait for this. They're laying low for now, but then he's getting ready to put something out to try to make him look good. Again, it could be a polo thing. It could be something with one of the children. But I see him and Megan hitting the PR hard, coming out with a big story to try to top this, to distract people. So yeah, expect Sunshine Sacks and Harry to ignore this publicly, but then come out with some other huge talking point or try attempt to come out with something to outshine this and distract people from this to something else pertaining to them. And it could be with the coronation coming up. I mean, it could be pertaining to that. I mean, they have been dragging back and forth their PR about Harry wants an apology, and they sit down with William and with Charles, and this back and forth garbage going on. So I do see something big there, some big announcement there to distract. And also in the long term, how is this cartoon, this South Park, going to affect him in the long term? King of Wands, King of Wands. Well, in the long term, it does give him more people are going to be asking him about it, and if he saw it, and he's going to try to use it to his advantage. I mean, again, at the end of the day, it just gives him more attention and prominence and media, Sun and Wands, it does give him more attention, which is what him and Megan always want, is media attention. So, even though he's not happy with his depiction and he's paranoid as ever, they are looking, if he could sue them, he will. He might try to anyways. He's always so sue happy, but I don't think he's going to be able to get away with it. I think that they're too clever for him. They've been around the block, these South Park, so that's another reason why he's so damn unhappy about it as well. It's like he can't find anything to get them with. But I think he is going to try to use this to his advantage in the media, and try to in the media, at least he's going to rise above it. He's going to be like, I've got my Invictus games. People just people just don't people just make fun of me because they know I'm the real king here, right? So he's going to try to utilize this to his best advantage, with taking advantage of the extra attention and whatnot. He's going to try to rise above it somehow. But yeah, but right now he is very, very unhappy, and not learning a lesson right now. It's going to take some time. He may learn a lesson eventually from this. He may, um, maybe through his children, if they enjoy watching it or something, or just seeing how funny it is, how many people enjoy it, he'll just like give in and be like, all right, fine. Like he'll finally cool off and realize that it's actually for the cartoon in the long term is um, going to be nothing but better for him and Megan and their PR. So, yeah, even bad news is good news, the PR, right? So it's gonna work out in the long term. I don't see him doing anything as far as trying to sue them. I don't see that happening. I think he may use this in his speeches. Next time he gives a boring speech, he may bring it up, to make people laugh. So he might say something about it. As far as, so making it part of this will be part of his repertoire, and he'll act all above it all. But we all know he is still the paranoid, crazy loser that he is. Him and me gain. Woo. So yeah, but I don't really see him learning a lesson so much from this, because he's going to continue. Him and Megan are going to continue, at least for the time being, doing what they do, which is make a mess out of everything and hog all the headlines and puff pieces and be as nasty and controversial and inciting hatred and divisiveness, because that's what Harry and Meghan do best. So hopefully they'll have a lot more material to give for future South Park episodes. Yeah, so that is what I have for you today. So I hope you enjoyed this. If so, please like and subscribe. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye bye.